All right, welcome back. For the last time of the day, it is quite late where I am now, and I'm going to be getting up quite early tomorrow morning to watch the Western European tiebreakers, which is what I'm going to be previewing right now. So starting off, going to be going over the upper division and then the lower division. We have two separate tiebreakers in the lower division, but of course, the one that everyone's going to be talking about is the four-way tie from third place all the way down to sixth place for the Western European upper division. Those four spots currently shared by OG, Tundra, Secret, and Nigma Galaxy so far. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this. This matchup is going to be taking place on January 1st at 1 p.m. local time to Western Europe. I know initially they had said noon, but Wikipedia has it posted as 1 p.m., so I'm going with that. And yeah, and this is how the schedule is going to be going. Just a heads up, all of these matches are going to be best of ones. It's going to be played in a round robin format where the top two teams are likely going to be the ones actually making it to the new playoff format that we're seeing for the replacement to the first major. And the bottom two teams are going to be obviously kept from that. So, starting off at 1 p.m., we have OG taking on Tundra. Following that, we have Secret taking on Nigma. Then Nigma plays another match once again up against OG. We then have Secret up against Tundra. Then Tundra plays a back-to-back against Nigma. And then we have OG taking on Secret to end things off. And based on how this is being run, there shouldn't be any more matches than this. There are two possible outcomes with these series because there are a total of 6 matches being played. Either we have two teams that are tied 2-1 and two of them that are tied 1-2, or we have no ties. We have one team that's 3-0, one team that's 0-3 completely. And if we do end up having two teams that are tied at the top, I don't think there would be any additional matches. Valve has been having those tiebreaker matches for seeding like second and third place in other regions. But I think in the case of if we have two teams that are tied at 2 wins, it would be the team that beat the other one that would likely be the one that's actually seeded ahead. But again, not confirmed. This is just what I think is going to be going down, because I don't see why they would want to have any more additional matches than these 6 if we end up having just, that first orientation. So we'll see. Taking a look now at the results from the previous tour to kind of get an inkling of what we're going to be looking at. And kind of like the previous few previews that I've done, it's a little bit inconclusive. Things kicked off on November 30th, near the very, very beginning of the DPC tour. We had OG taking down Secret in that disastrous series for Secret. That was of course, their opening series as a new roster, and it was awful. But on the side of OG, they played fantastic. Following that, we had Tundra taking down Nigma on December 7th. Nigma still playing with Roman replacing Miracle at this point. On December 11th, Team Secret gets their win up against Tundra, a very well-played match. They win it in 3 games. And that would, in fact, be the only series that went to 3 games out of the 6 that I've got here. On December 14th, we have OG taking down Nigma. That was the return of Miracle. That felt really underwhelming at first, but since then, Nigma has really turned things around. On December 18th, they would take down Secret 2-0 in a very, very well-played series. And then finally, on January 19th, just yesterday or 2 days ago, depending on when you're seeing this, we had Tundra taking down OG 2-0, and Tundra playing very well in that series. They played that series after losing their last one to Team Tickles, and you could definitely tell they were playing with a chip on their shoulder and really taking it out on OG. So if you take a look at the standings, if we're just looking at these matches here where they actually played against one another, these are the following standings. We have Tundra and OG who are 2-1 each, but since Tundra beat OG in their head-to-head match, I have them seeded ahead. And then same thing goes for Nigma and Secret, who are tied for 1 and 2 as well. The question is, will history repeat himself? Will we see Tundra and OG maintain their spot ahead of these two teams from just the past results from the first tour, or will we see something completely different? I think all of these teams have been playing fantastically. OG, Secret, and Tundra notably have been having their wins and losses here and there, no real streaks to that point. OG obviously having a very, very strong start to the tour, going 3-1. However, for Nigma, it's been a complete turnaround. They started off their season 0-3, and they ended off 4-3. So they're on a 4-series winning streak right now. Again, these aren't going to be series; these are all going to be best of 1. So it's going to be super important that they get out of the gate right away. And yeah, I'm super excited for this. Let me know who you guys think is going to win this series in the comments down below, as always. And yeah, now looking at the lower division, things kick off on January 22nd at 11 a.m. where we have Ghost Frogs taking on Into the Breach for the 6th and 7th place tiebreakers. Of course, the loser of this matchup is going to be going down to the lower division. Because it is only 2 teams currently tied for this position, it is going to be a simple best-of-3 series. Winner finishes 6th, loser gets eliminated from the DPC by finishing 7th. Looking at the results now, Ghost Frogs and Into the Breach have kind of had very, very similar tours to this point. Not a whole lot of success, but the notable thing is that in their head-to-head matchup, it was Into the Breach that actually took the series 2-0. which is something to keep in mind. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean that history will repeat itself. We've seen some mixed results based on our North American tiebreakers that we had in the upper division earlier today, which again, I won't really spoil anything, but I'll say that these results are not necessarily the most consistent. But yeah, I'm again super glad to see tiebreakers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who do you guys think wins this one? Yeah. And finally, looking at the last one, which is going to be taking place just after this series on January 22nd, again, 2 p.m. local time. We actually don't have a schedule so far, but we do know that every single team is going to be playing against every other one, and they're going to be playing until there is a loser. These are the top 3 teams, and only 2 of them are able to qualify, meaning as soon as there is a loser, we are down to just 2 teams, meaning they both qualify. We have, again, this repeats until there is a loser. For looking at the Tour 1 results, Brame actually won their first series up against Entity 2-1 on November 29th to kick things off. This was the first match of the Western European lower division to kick off this tour. We then had Chicken Fighters taking down Brame 2-1 on December 15th, and then Entity taking down Chicken Fighters 2-1 on January 11th. So these teams are very evenly matched. They all beat each other in 3 games. And their only losses this tour were to each other. They were managing to beat every other team, some having more of an easier time than others. For example, Entity only dropped 3 individual games in this entire tour, all 3 of them to these 2 teams, whereas Brame, for example, lost those 3 games as well as some additional ones to some other teams like Chillax, like Ghost Frogs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So all in all, these teams are very, very closely matched. I'm really, really excited for this specifically. Brame is definitely fighting to get back into that upper division after getting relegated in the last tour in their tiebreakers. Of course, losing that one to OG and Tundra, I believe. These other 2 teams are really coming at it from a fresh angle. I think Chicken Fighters coming in through those open qualifiers this tour as well after getting relegated out of the DPC in the last tour. So they're definitely fighting with a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, but who knows? I'm really excited. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Who do you guys think is going to win these matches? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, a lot of content coming up from my channel in the next few days. If you don't want to miss it, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of these previews, as of course they are going to be pretty short notice with just how hectic things have been lately. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.